Oh, I feel important now. I'm up here at the big table.
Can the audience give her another round of applause?
Thank you for all those wonderful words and for this beautiful Excellence in Education Award. It's an apple, and I love apples. And it's got a gold leaf on it. That's a beautiful symbol. Before I start, I want you to know that my father is here. He's 97 years young. I want him to stand and take a bow because he's the one. He's a musician, plays 5 instruments, an athlete, and he never took a lesson, and a self-made man. So anything that I've done really reflects him, the genes. Thank you, Daddy. To the superintendent, Mr. Andrikopoulos, and the school board of directors, my former students, and my present choir members, I say thank you. I am honored and humbled to receive this award from you tonight. In a world where teachers are being blamed for everything that's wrong with education, and they're not given credit for the children whose lives they have inspired and enriched many times, it's good to know that Milwaukee knows better. You should clap for Milwaukee. I came to North Division in 1968. You know, that's 42 years ago. Long time. Straight from a convent. It was a big change, but I had never regretted it for one moment. I entered a new world. I learned some new words, but I also learned new music, and I found a family in the Black community. I discovered raw talent waiting to be developed. After 25 years at North, and 23 musicals and 1,000 performances in all the churches we could find, I retired, 94. But I didn't retire from music. You may retire from school and teaching, but you never retire from music. In 2006, actually, Barry Applewhite brought me back to mentor a former student of mine to assist choirs in development. He's here tonight, Mr. Casey Williams. Would you stand, please? He's a country singer performing in Europe. Yes, country singer performing in Europe. But he also has a natural gift for teaching, which I saw. I said, you're a natural teacher. You've got to try teaching. He has an immediate connection with kids that you cannot learn from a book. I've always told my student teachers, you may have to wait a long time for the thank yous, but when they come, it's worthwhile. It's worth all the blood, sweat, and tears. I am rewarded every time someone comes up to me in a Walmart or a restaurant and says, my mother and daddy were in your choir, or my grandma and grandpa now was in your choir. That's how old I am. And they were proud of that. I receive an award every time another person walks into our alumni choir. Our wonderful members of the alumni choir are here tonight. There are actually 60 of us. And it keeps on growing, and I appreciate the being here. Some people who sang with me as far back as '68 are in this choir. One of them is here tonight, Mr. Ronald Lumford. Would you stand, please? He was in the Porgy and Bess, the first show I did at North, and he has been an MPS teacher for 30 years. I'm real proud of him. I'm also very overjoyed when some of the homeless people in the community have joined our choir, and some of them are my old students. And they come back and remind me, I was in that choir too, and I've come back to life. I'm reminded when I meet students with their children, or the grandchildren, and they say, now I know what you were trying to teach me. Because now they're parents. You opened my eyes to new horizons and possibilities. You changed my life. Those are rewards you cannot buy. Teaching, to me, is still the best job in the world. And so, in closing, I want to quote a teacher named Taylor Malley, who wrote a poem in answer to a question by a rich man. He was at a dinner, fancy dinner, with lawyers and doctors and CEOs. And they were talking about what everybody makes, their salaries. What this one makes, what that one makes. And so they asked him, "You're a teacher, you can't be making much money." Well, we don't argue that. "So what do you make?" His answer is the best description I have ever heard about teachers and what they do. I added a little of my own to it. What do I make? I make kids wonder. I make kids dream. I make kids stand up straight like kings and queens. I make kids speak with good diction and look you in the eye. I make kids discipline themselves far better than we can discipline them. I make kids apologize when they're wrong and forgive when they have been wronged. I make kids work harder than they ever thought they could. I make kids proud to be who they are. I make kids treat each other like family. I make kids practice over and over and over and over again. You can attest to that. I make kids take the word can't out of their mouths and never, ever give up. And then he said to them, I make a difference. What about you? What do you make? That's all I have to say.
I'd also want to make a comment that there are certain individuals that come up here and their lives are so inspiring and the differences they make are so inspiring that they really set an example and a role model for all of us. And certainly Ms. Skwierawski is someone in that vein. So we want to thank her again for her outstanding service and continued dedication to life, actually. Thank you.